You're a teacher and a shaman, detective of the buried truth, both the wise and loving leader and the ever-skeptic sleuth. Your students look to you to show them and all the hidden worlds you know, and the data, facts, and evidence that pull and push their future's flow. A lifelong learner, ever searching for what lies beyond the hype and the golden grains of evidence that must be brought to light. Your clarity's unshakable. Your focus is supreme. You build rock-steady, brave solutions and pave bridges out of dreams. Introducing the Sage Archetype. If we don't know each other, hi, I'm Jen Kem. I'm the CEO of the Master Brand Institute, where we guide entrepreneurs on the path to uncovering their unique message with such clarity they can turn any conversation into a sales conversion. And today we're talking about the brand archetype called the Sage. In this video, I want to give you an in-depth understanding of what it means to embody the Sage brand archetype. We're going to cover strengths, weaknesses, business themes, and integrating this information into your business. If the Sage had a power statement, it's, I am the Sage. My quest is to find the truth and educate the people around me. The questions that excite me are, what are the facts? What is the truth? What is the most important thing that we need to actually know? I love to teach, coach, and inspire. I'm rational, well-spoken, and clear. I take complicated situations and explain them simply. When I speak, things just make sense. My students have aha moments all the time. Epiphanies abound. I'm an expert in my field. I've researched extensively. I've studied rigorously, and I bring this expertise to my audience to help them solve problems better and faster than they could do it alone. I wholeheartedly believe that when you know better, you do better. I believe there's always more to learn, and the journey never ends. Now, when we talk about brand archetypes, each one has a set of power words that best represent them. I think it's important to point out that the words themselves don't need to be used in every piece of your message. It's more accurate to say when your audience reads your message that they need to feel these power words. Sage power words include teacher, mentor, educator, knowledgeable, epiphany, breakthrough, smart, research, competent, wisdom, intelligence, integrity, prudence, and character. A great question to ask yourself is, does my current message make me feel those words? Moving on, one of the most important things I recommend when it comes to fully embodying your brand archetype is looking at brands who model your archetype well. I call them master brand models because that's what they are, models of brands that have masterfully embraced their archetype. When we look at these conceptual models, what you're really looking to try to understand is the vibe or the energy that they give off, not the literal look or words, though those might be useful. Master brand models that I believe model the Sage archetype excellently include Wayne Dyer, Ariel Ford, Deepak Chopra, Oprah Winfrey, Audi, CNN, IBM, and Google. At its essence, the Sage is one who illuminates the path for students who want to discover something new. Their demeanor and intention distinguishes them as they have an ability to pull together seemingly disparate bits of wisdom into something practical and meaningful. That light bulb moment is really important for them to witness and enjoy. The illumination they offer can be specialized to a particular situation or set of circumstances, or general wisdom. Moving into strategic positioning, the Sage gives off a vibe that says, I seek out knowledge so that my self-reflection and thinking process can support how I serve my clients and customers in expanding their horizons. Strengths of this archetype include education, generosity, idealism, and morality. Recurring themes and pillars of this brand include the truth will set you free. Information is transformation. The big picture and the step-by-step path is the road to success. Trust me on this. Expand your mind. See, the Sage archetype represents thinking in its highest form, and that through thinking comes truth. Expert opinion is respected by the Sage, and autonomy and objectiveness are very high values. Sages don't get muddled by hearsay or glorified claims. They value data and information to help guide decisions, for their company as well as others. Don't think the sage isn't intuitive, though. It's just that they require empirical evidence to support their knowing. A skilled investigator, sages are great at seeing patterns that support a solution. Of course, all archetypes have a dark side as well. In archetypal psychology, the dark side isn't a bad thing. Simply put, these are things that when done, makes it harder than necessary to actually get what you want. So the shadow of the sage is the professional student, someone who's always learning, studying, and preparing instead of transmuting their insights into action. The feelings you may experience that begin these dark side actions are the fear of being duped or ignorant, feeling disconnected from reality, dogmatism, righteousness, and arrogance. Other feelings or instances that lead to dark side behavior are lack of tact and diplomacy, ignoring possibly important details, gluttony, and overconfidence. Again, there is nothing wrong with these things, so don't feel ashamed if you experience them. It's more important to understand that these can make you start doing things that don't support what you actually want. So when they come up, identify them and pivot into what you should actually be focusing on. So what makes the sage unique in your industry? Through the ages, people have sought the advice and counsel of sages, given their ability to transcend the personal in order to discern and uncover symbols and signs hidden in life's challenges. Generous of spirit, yet very discriminating, the sage gently shares great wisdom with compassion and mercy, so teaching may facilitate a path where mistakes are not repeated. They have a core belief that thinking is what defines the human experience, and that truth is the ultimate goal. Motivated by independence, cognitive fulfillment, and a serious need to know things, they possess great knowledge gained from deep experience. Now, let's go ahead and integrate all of this concept into your business in a meaningful way. The sage's products and services have the opportunity to move customers to aspire towards and ideate their greatest dreams with morality, philosophy, and real results. Confidence in facts, numbers, and outcomes, as well as experiences, is important, and don't be obstinate or overly confident that your route is the only path to the truth. Your audience wants you to be smarter than them, but don't want to feel stupid. They want to feel like you've done the work for them so they don't have to think about it. Focus on what's extremely useful, and you will find balance in your audience, especially in your relationships with them. The emotional phrases you want to stir up in your audience include, you fulfill my need for upward momentum. You always have an upgraded path. You're out there all the time and never go quiet. You always support your truth with the facts. You make me feel like I always have a fair shake. Here are some key things that are not the sage's jam. Anything loosey-goosey makes you crazy. There's always a thoughtful path to the bigger picture, and any product or service you have needs to be tested and found to be useful. Be wary of any projects that keep you stuck. Although the sage depends heavily on thinking, the most successful ones know that they need to quickly test, then kill those that don't work. Some important things to remember as a sage is your audience is attracted to understanding, intelligence, and philosophy. The sage isn't just a teacher or a reporter. They're a problem solver who helps people sort truth from illusion by subduing the paranoia of the unknown. Sometimes the sage can appear stiff or lacking in social graces, so be mindful of this when engaging with customers, your team, or the public perception of your brand. This is important to know so that you can give your audience space to embrace your idiosyncrasies. Your audience expects you to know the big picture, abide by the laws of the land and society, and help them aim high and expect more. Strive to make that ideal a reality. Finally, some feature and positioning angles to draw more attention to your offer. Provide expertise and in-depth information to your customers. Encourage your audience to think bigger, better, and bolder. Focus on using facts and case studies as the foundation beneath your offer structure. Capitalize on opportunities that your competitors missed in their offer. And a final word for the sage. Anything that doesn't have a space in the bigger picture of a solution or result that will impact the world is not worthy of the sage's time or effort. Wisdom is the goal, so do things that keep creating evidence that your brand is the one to choose. Now the question is, what do you do with all of this information? Especially if you're a sage, you're definitely going to want to know, right? Well, there's two options. If you're sitting here wondering to yourself, am I a sage? Then you're going to want to take my brand archetype assessment. This in-depth psychological assessment is the only archetype test on the internet that's been recognized by a top collegiate school of psychology. I know you like that. Basically, this is not some loosey-goosey BuzzFeed quiz that you just take for funsies. This is a deep dive into the psychology that makes your brand unique in the marketplace. Second, if you already know your brand archetype mix, then you'll want to check out my archetypal storytelling workshop. With over 6 hours of content, this in-depth program will give you both a conceptual and a practical understanding of using your brand archetype mix in your business. By the end of it, you'll have identified several stories from your life that can be shared to attract more high-quality, high-paying clients. You can find more information down below on all of that. And that's it. If you found value in this content, please hit the thumbs up button below so we can get this video in front of more entrepreneurs who want help getting crystal clear on their unique message. Be sure to also hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you're notified when new content is released. I'm Jen Kem, here to help you elevate how the world sees, hears, and pays you. Until next time.